you're watching VNA News Bulletin. I'm Vinh Hằng from Hanoi with the major stories.
Prime Minister visits President Ho Chi Minh relic site in Kunming. Vietnamese tech company introduces new product in U.S. market. And later, Tianzhang promotes green agriculture to boost competition.
Prime Minister Chinh is in Yunnan, China, to attend the 8th Greater Mekong Sub-Region Summit and hold bilateral activities in the country.
On October 5th, Prime Minister Pham Minh Chinh and his entourage offered flowers in tribute to President Ho Chi Minh at a historical relic site dedicated to the late Vietnamese leader in Kunming City, Yunnan Province. The relic site was where GIện I, who later became President Ho Chi Minh, lived and worked from February to October 1940. A lot of artifacts, photos, and documents related to President Ho Chi Minh during his stay in the city are on display at the relic site. Writing in the guest book, Prime Minister Chinh affirmed that the relic site exemplifies the tradition of solidarity and close ties between the revolutionary movements of the two parties and the two countries. The Vietnamese government sincerely thanks the party organization, authority, and people of Yunnan Province for preserving the site, and stated, affirming that this is always a red address to educate people, especially young people, on the traditional relations between Vietnam and China. On the same day, Prime Minister Pham Minh Chinh attended the Vietnam Culture and Tourism Festival at the Yunnan Theater in Kunming City, Yunnan Province, as part of his working visit to China. The Prime Minister visited the exhibition, where 40 photos about Vietnam's heritage, culture, and tourism are on display. The government leader and the Vietnamese delegation then enjoyed a special art program performed by Vietnamese and Chinese artists. Prime Minister Chinh presented flowers to the artists, praising their quality performances. He said the performance had demonstrated the spirit of solidarity and friendship between the two countries and peoples, contributing to further promoting the friendly neighborly relations between the two countries. On the afternoon of November 5th, in Kunming City, Prime Minister Pham Minh Chinh met with officials and staff of the Vietnamese representative offices in China and the Vietnamese community in Yunnan Province. Moved by the growth and affection of the Vietnamese community in Yunnan, Prime Minister Chinh said he hopes that the Vietnamese community will always try their best to preserve and strengthen the relationship between the two countries. He requested that officials and staff of Vietnamese representative agencies in China in general, and in Yunnan in particular, try their best to connect, support, and ensure rights and legitimate interests of the Vietnamese community in the neighbor country.
At the invitation of Chinese Premier Li Qiang, Prime Minister Pham Minh Chinh has arrived in China to attend the 8th Greater Mekong Sub-Region Summit, the 10th Ayayawadi Chao Phraya Mekong Economic Cooperation Strategy Summit, and the 11th Cambodia, Laos, Myanmar, Vietnam Cooperation Summit. The Prime Minister's participation in these events underscores Vietnam's crucial role in sub-regional cooperation.
The Greater Mekong Subregion includes Vietnam, Cambodia, Laos, Thailand, Myanmar, and China's Yunnan and Guangxi provinces, covering about 2.6 million square kilometers and housing over 333 million people. Non-traditional security challenges like climate change and natural disasters continue to impact the region, prompting Mekong countries to enhance coordination through sub-regional mechanisms while also advancing economic development and infrastructure projects along the Mekong River.
Prime Minister Pham Minh Chinh's trip to China aims to convey significant messages to enhance cooperation within the subregion and the broader international community. Amid unprecedented global economic transformations, there is an urgent need for green and digital transitions as well as sustainable, inclusive development. The Mekong subregion must take bold steps to address these new development challenges.
At this summit, leaders will tackle traditional issues like economic facilitation, trade, investment, infrastructure connectivity, and sustainable management of transboundary water resources while also focusing on innovation.
The Prime Minister will prioritize cooperative areas that align with Vietnam's development goals, focusing on enhancing trade, improving infrastructure connectivity, and sustainably managing transboundary water resources. Efforts will also target resource mobilization to leverage potentials in science, technology, innovation, digital transformation, and green transition, supporting socio-economic development and commitments to sustainability and emission reduction.
According to the Deputy Minister, these new cooperation areas will strengthen the mechanisms, positioning them not only as traditional pillars of sub-regional collaboration but also as pioneering frameworks that elevate the Mekong sub-region within the regional and international value chain.
An international conference on discussing ways to branch out high-quality labor force for the Southern Economic Hub's smart urban development was held in Ho Chi Minh City on November 4th.
By 2030, Ho Chi Minh City is envisaged to become a dynamic hub of finance, commerce, culture, education, and science technology with deep international integration. The city has earmarked 1.22% of its budget for digital transformation initiatives, exceeding the national level of 1%, with various policies put in place, such as fee waiver and reduction for online public services, along with incentives to attract experts and talents to the sector. Ho Chi Minh City is aiming for the digital economy to contribute 25% of the gross regional domestic product by 2025 and 40% by 2030. International experts recommended the city identify its human resources demand to have rational training programs and suggested short-term training for civil servants, residents, and businesses, and long-term training at higher education institutions.
Vietnam's fresh coconuts are being increasingly consumed in international markets, such as the US, China, and the UK, highlighting a bright spot in Vietnam's fruit export sector, with many opportunities for breakthroughs in the near future.
Vietnam holds the 6th position in the global coconut market in terms of cultivation area and output. With roughly 200,000 hectares of plantations, the country produces 2 million tons of the nuts annually. This production capacity has enabled Vietnam to export coconuts to 15 foreign markets, with 30,000 tons. Vietnamese coconuts have been exported to Western markets since 2017. Vietnamese coconuts, known for sweetness, caught the attention of the US market, favored by consumers in Europe, Canada, and the Republic of Korea, and most recently China, which has granted an export code for the product. With a population of over 1.4 billion and domestic supply meeting only about 10% of the demand, China represents a great potential market. China consumes over 4 billion coconuts annually, of which approximately 2.6 billion are fresh ones. With a sharp rise of fresh coconut exports, the fruit sector has more opportunities to create breakthroughs in exports, potentially reaching the milestone of $10 billion.
Vietnam's Silex Group JSC recently launched its Latimer laptop or tablet at Practical Technology Incorporated in Maryland, the US.
The 2-in-1 product, featuring effective security measures to ensure user safety, has received a warm reception from domestic businesses. It is produced with the collaboration between US and Vietnamese innovators, reflecting Vietnam's increasingly advanced capabilities in the technology sector.
This product was launched after nearly 5 years of research. In the coming time, Silex will introduce its Latimer brand to schools in Maryland, aiming to integrate artificial intelligence into its products and gain a firm foothold in challenging markets like the US.
Through the Latimer project, the Maryland state government will push for the initiative to be linked with partners from universities and the community education system in the state.
The Latimer was designed and engineered in Vietnam with input from the United States and collaboration. Silex is a dynamic Vietnamese entity with whom we are very pleased. The entire delegation of engineers are here with us today, and this is the prototype of the Latimer. Here you see Louis Latimer, and this is a machine that has very special.
Efforts in the technology sector will generate practical innovations, bringing prosperity to both Vietnam and the US in the near future.
Amid the global focus on sustainable development and climate change mitigation, the Mekong Delta province of Tiền Giang has made significant strides in promoting green agriculture. This initiative aims to protect the environment, enhance product quality, and boost economic value, thereby strengthening competitiveness both domestically and internationally.
Mi Phong Cooperative in Meither City, Tiền Giang Province, boasts more than 60 hectares of green-skin pomelos, including 30 hectares receiving Viet Gap certification for green production. Notably, these fruits meet standards for exports to the Republic of Korea, yielding 35 tons per hectare. The key difference from traditional farming lies in the green production process, which incorporates biological pest control measures.
The cooperative encourages and guides farmers to use biological measures without using pesticides to ensure the best quality of the fruit and customer safety.
In recent years, the local agriculture sector has boosted green farming practices by adopting smart farming techniques, utilizing organic fertilizers, reducing chemical and pesticide use, employing biological pest control, and applying technology for processing and reusing byproducts and waste. The province has also invested in technology to improve product quality. As a result, many local vegetable producers have built strong brands that are present in major distribution networks and exported to multiple countries.
As suppliers, we must meet the requirements of importers. This means adhering to Viet Gap standards and ensuring that no pesticides, or only those within permissible limits, are used on our crops, ensuring no pesticide residues.
Since 2015, the department has advised the Provincial People's Committee to issue regulations on policies supporting clean agricultural production. By 2021, more specific guidelines were introduced, focusing on clean and green production to ensure safety for both producers and consumers.
To date, Viet Gap certified production has been implemented at over 180 facilities across the province, spanning more than 2,450 hectares of crops, nearly 400 hectares of aquaculture, and approximately 970,000 head of livestock.
The southern province of Tiền Giang is intensifying efforts to meet the anticipated surge in tourist demand during the final 2 months of the year.
Kênh Giang is focusing on maintaining current domestic and international flight routes to Phu Quoc, a key destination in the province, and working with related sectors and airlines to establish new routes, bringing more visitors to the island. In the first 10 months of 2024, Kênh Giang welcomed 8.8 million visitors, including 813,364 foreign tourists, generating about $850 million in revenue. The province currently has 967 accommodation facilities with over 34,000 rooms, including 25 establishments rated 4 to 5 stars with more than 11,900 rooms, effectively meeting tourist demand. Phu Quoc, the island city, accounted for over 5.2 million tourists, around 60% of Kênh Giang's total visitors. The island city offers a convenient, modern, and world-class lodging system. In the third quarter of 2024, Phu Quoc experienced a notable recovery in international tourism, welcoming many international flights.
And that is also the end of our daily bulletin. Thank you for tuning in, and goodbye for now.